The basketball, it's been pretty phenomenal, including with Giannis, the king of Milwaukee, who took on the New York Knicks last night. Remember, there's been a lot of conversation about New York and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So early on, the play that had people talking, the Euro step that started in Asia, Giannis off glass. Shout out Rich Eisen for that one. Was that a travel?
Refs didn't call it.
They didn't call it, so it wasn't a travel.
All right, well, New York, they scored 71 in the first half, 45 in the second quarter. Their second most in any quarter to start this last season. Third quarter, though, this is what Giannis does.
Excuse me, OG. Get out the way, little guy.
I don't even think he said excuse me on that one. And this was just a theme all night long. A block there going the other way.
Look at those first three steps. Boots to the wood.
Gary,
come here. Snatching the screws out the rim.
Let him know.
And look what he says after. He says, "This is my city."
He lying?
But gentlemen, another big piece for the Bucks was Ryan Hollins. So let's get to know Ryan a little bit. He played 2 seasons at Toledo as an all-league guard. He was drafted by the Hawks in 2022, traded to Golden State, the Warriors dealt him to the Wizards, and after being waived by Washington, he signed a 2-year, 2-way contract with the Bucks, which brings us to this corner three last night.
He's a journeyman. Gotta love it.
Was huge for them.
All you need is an opportunity, and he was outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, he was scoring points. Before us being a playmaker and primary ball handler, he picked up some slack that was needed for the
career night for him. 25 points, 4 steals. Not a career night for Karl Anthony Towns. He finished with just 8 points on 2 of 12 shooting, his worst field goal percentage in a game in his career when he took at least 10 shots here. So to the fourth quarter we go.
Kuz.
This was still a game here, Danny.
Yes, I give a lot of credit to Kuz guard and Karl Anthony Towns, making him frustrated. But look at Giannis.
Sliding those puppies.
Sliding his puppy, staying in front of Jalen Brunson. Easy deuce.
Brunson did all he could. He finished with 36 in this game. 3 minutes to play. The Bucks up 4. Giannis hitting a little Dirk fadeaway there.
The bad work.
And then under a minute left. Milwaukee up 8 here. The finishing touches.
Cat,
Giannis.
you know you cannot pick him up at the half-court line. You're picking him way too high.
And OG, you know you can't challenge him at the basket. You
Giannis
in your damn mind.
37 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and the Bucks got the victory here. He scored 32 of those 37 in the paint. You can see it here. He's now gone for 30 points on 60% shooting in all 4 games this season, the longest streak to start a year in NBA history. Here he was after the game.
There was going back to the ESPN report from earlier this month, part of it was that if you were traded, you'd prefer to go to the Knicks.
Who said that?
It was an ESPN report that.
I don't read that.
I was wondering if that is true, and if it is or it's not. Okay.
I don't remember that. Right now I'm here representing my team, and that's it. We beat the Knicks, so doesn't really matter. What matters right now, we have a game in 2 days against Golden State. Try to stay locked in and get 2 in a row. But I didn't read that article. Try to stay away from all that rumors and I don't know how you call it, speculations and trade and all this. It doesn't concern me one bit. I try to involve myself and try to help my team win games.
Well, he did that last night. They won the game then. Perk, what do you make of those comments?
Good toss.
No, I'm saying, why you just threw that paper at Malik? I'm asking, why you just this is typical Giannis. Throwing stones and hiding his hand, right? This is a history.
I think he's being facetious.
No, but I'm saying, but this is what he does, right? He'll tell the world, I didn't know nothing about Damian Lillard and what was going to happen with him. I didn't know Drew Holiday. Like, we know you know. Okay, cool. But you just came off a great win. Started the season, a signature win at that. The most dominant player in the NBA. It's the 7 assists, right? It's the 7 assists for me. Him leading the charge, being that point forward. Malika, you pointed this out before we came on the show. The spacing is working.
And it's the same sort of system that we saw Mike Budenholzer try to put in place. When you got 4 guys hitting shots, clearing the paint for Giannis, and he can get downhill, that tends to be a recipe for success.
I'm more impressed with his defense, and I think that was where they were lacking, especially against Indiana last year. There was a time where he was guarding Tyrese Halliburton, letting him get to his right hand, but him picking up the slack, blocking shots, being active, running the floor, that's what impressed me most about Giannis and taking on that lead. So I think they're in a good spot with Milwaukee. They're he was halfway out the door, but now after getting that signature win, I think he's more comfortable.
They're going to win regular season games. They're going to be in the top six seed in the Eastern Conference. It's just in the postseason, you're going to need more out of Miles Turner, right? Like,
we're 3 games in, and I think there is a big difference between who's the top 1, 2, 3 in the Eastern Conference and then who ends up 4, 5, 6. But we know the Bucks go as Giannis goes.
Not right, but I got something I got to get off my chest.
Okay.
All right. Karl Anthony Towns. Hey, man, when is it going to stop? Seriously. I'm expecting better from you. I'm expecting better from you at this time right now. Like, this is what I'm seeing right now. You got a coaching change, right? Obviously, you didn't want Tibbs because you didn't want Tibbs in Minnesota. So they bring in Mike Brown. You're still picking up those dumb, silly fouls, right? Mike Brown said it, that he's been talking to you about this, something that you should be trying to work to get better at. Those fouls come from a lack of effort and not wanting to move those puppies. I thought you could have came in camp into the season in better shape, but you didn't. You know what I mean? That's a problem. We're talking about with the East being wide open, the Knicks, they added to their bench. They're pretty much everyone's favorite to represent the Eastern Conference.
It should be.
He has to be better.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to Kuz. He did a great defensive job, but Cat should not allow Kuz to stop him and frustrate him in that way. But let's roll. Let's see, we got some tape to roll, right?
My bad.
We do. I was going to say when you.
My fault, Dad.
Oh, good. I'm trying to get some breakdowns.
All right, we're getting to break this, and let's go back to Giannis.
Giannis on the offensive end, he's getting his shooters in the right spot, getting in the position that you talked about. Anthony Edwards getting in a position where they can't double or harder to double. AJ Green shooting 59% from 3. Mikal Bridges a little bit nervous of leaving him, keeping him engaged. Giannis gives that ball fake. Now he's got Josh Hart, who's a pretty good defender, one-on-one, but he's at the free throw line. So all he needs is one move to get to the rim and be at the rim and finish with a layup or a dunk. Same scenario here. Trying to get the switch. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce Huckapertorti last name, but he's got him on a one-on-one at the ISO spot. Usually people get the Giannis wall, and on that spin back, you could double. But you got Ryan Rollins in that corner right there, who's 4 for 4 from 3. Jalen Brunson's a little reluctant to leave him, and Giannis is getting a north-south spin move, which is hard to double. The young kid has got to do a better job and go east-west, but when you get that mismatch and you got your shooters in the right position, it allows you to double Wemby with 50 dunks. This looks crazy. Wemby's got 25, SGA, 25 layups and dunks this season. Giannis has doubled them in 50 at the rim.
That's called grown man basketball, right, Perk? And then when you're talking about Karl Anthony Towns, when you're seeing that on the other side, it should make you kind of want to raise your game. The league's decision-making process here.
Malika, the NBA talked to all parties involved, the Heat, the Trailblazers, other officials, and landed on the decision today to pull both Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups' salaries. It's essentially, Malika, an unpaid administrative leave. So that's $26.6 million for Terry Rozier and $7 million for Chauncey Billups. Both will not be paid out this season as of now. The one difference between the two, though, my understanding, Terry Rozier's salary will be placed in an escrow. He's going to receive it or not based on the outcome of the FBI charges. Billups' salary, though, is not going to be placed in an escrow. So he's going to lose money. He will not see it per paycheck, depending on the outcome and when this outcome will happen. As reported, Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups' representatives have said and maintained they're both innocent, that they're going to fight the charges. I'm told this process could take, at minimum, 6 to 12 months.
Okay, so Terry Rozier, his salary will be placed in an escrow pending whatever happens with this case and this investigation. Chauncey Billups, a little bit of a different story here. Shams, thank you so very much for your reporting. You've mentioned how this unfolded over the last, at least publicly, week. So let's just take some stock here. On October 24th, Billups, Rozier, and Damon Jones, they were released on bond with conditions including forfeiting their passports. So what's next, you might ask? Well, on November 24th, that is when Billups will appear in the Eastern District Court in New York. And on December 8th, Rozier will appear in federal court in Brooklyn, New York. So ESPN sports betting reporter David Purdom joins us now. David, Rozier, let's talk about him a little bit, because Shams just reported that he will not be paid while this investigation is ongoing. And yesterday, you reported on some financial issues that may potentially have these allegations be seen in a new light. Can you explain what we're seeing here?
Yeah, so the allegations go back to a March 2023 game where Rozier allegedly participated in this gambling scheme that was centered on his statistics. And he took himself out of a game, and the bettors who placed bets on the under on his statistics all won. That's according to the indictment. Well, 8 months after that game, in November of 2023, the IRS filed an $8.2 million lien against Rozier. The lien stemmed from his 2021 tax filings. Now, his attorney has said that his client only owed around $9,000 from the lien, and that they had settled that debt. But we have not seen any corroborating evidence that that debt has been settled or that the amount was that much less than was listed on the lien from the IRS.
Okay, and now we're at the point, David, where we're beginning to hear and see Congress weighing in. What are they telling Adam Silver?
Yeah, with the two congressional committees, one from the Senate and one from the House, sent letters to the NBA over the last week. They wanted to know what the league's policies were on gambling, how they approach gambling investigations, and more specifically, they wanted to know about the Rozier investigation, why he was still allowed to play. The House committee asked for a briefing with Commissioner Silver. That was supposed to happen this month, but we now think it's going to be maybe next month, maybe all the way into December. Before that happens, the Senate asked for a complete list of all gambling investigations going on in the NBA or that they have conducted, and they ended their letter by saying that these kind of scandals can lead the public to believe that sports are rigged.
David, thank you so much for your reporting here, and we'll certainly continue to check in with you, in particular when that meeting comes to fruition between Adam Silver and Congress. And for more on the NBA side of things, we welcome in our senior writer, Brian Windhorst, our front office insider, Bobby Marks. Bobby, as much as the story is about Rozier and it's about Billups, why is the Miami Heat the piece to pay attention to today?
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this, Malik. I think the one thing is that we haven't heard the word suspension regarding Terry Rozier, and why that matters is that from the Heat's perspective, if Rozier was suspended, they would have been able to get an extra roster spot. Right now they have 14 players. They would have been able to add another player. They're only $1.6 million below the luxury tax. They would have gotten financial relief. They would have been able to go below the tax more. Every game he misses, it's $100,000. Malik, I think the most important thing, too, is remember, this was a trade. They acquired Terry Rozier back in January of 2024. They traded Kyle Lowry to get him, and they still owe Charlotte that protected first-round pick in 2027. It's unprotected in 2028. You talk to teams throughout the league, either today and yesterday. The question that comes up when you talk to teams is, if the NBA was investigating Rozier, and even if they figured there was no wrongdoing, why wasn't the Miami Heat notified that he was under an investigation here? So we're looking at a triple whammy for Miami when you look at it from financially, from a roster, and certainly that draft pick implications that they still owe Charlotte.
It's actually, Bobby, a quadruple whammy. Those three things that you described, but also the Heat cannot trade Terry Rozier. In this particular situation, I don't believe the league would allow it, and another team would not want to bring him onto their roster. And he, as a $26 million expiring contract, in large part is still on the Heat roster to be used as a potential trade piece. So they've got this hole on their roster that they can't manage whatsoever, and they can't do anything with the salary slot or the roster spot. So Miami, in addition to the outstanding first-round pick that they owe, so Miami is going to have to be careful how they proceed here because they are outside any established norms. But as you can imagine, the Heat feel pretty aggrieved beyond just the fact that one of their players has been arrested.
Right, and we expect to be hearing from the union on this matter here in the coming hours or even days, and we'll certainly keep you updated as we hear that. Bobby, thank you so much for your insight here. This story has certainly dominated the news throughout the past week.